What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your daily news report for Friday, November 18th. Now, here's what we know, and this was shocking to me when I first read this, is that 80 million Americans are at risk this winter. I want to explain what's going on here, why this is potentially this is a devastating turn of events, but this is something that we have been somewhat preparing for. I've been talking about this over the past 3 to 6 months, and again, it is coming. So we're going to address that, and we're going to address how inflation is creating one of those SHTF moments. What hits the fan. So I want to address what's going on there. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Now, I've been warning people about this for months. What is happening right now is we are getting more and more warnings from U.S. agencies stating that large portions of the United States will soon face blackouts and other energy emergencies. This is due to the fact that we are going to have a winter with extreme cold. We also couple that with tight supply of things like coal and natural gas. Experts believe that roughly 25% of the U.S. population is at risk this winter of facing rolling blackouts. Now, and again, we've addressed this before. What does a rolling blackout mean? It means we have no electricity for a set amount of time. Maybe it's for 20 minutes. Maybe it's for a few hours. Maybe it's for a day. We don't know. Again, electrical grids they're in trouble. We've seen this before, and we're going to see it again. According to reports, the electrical grids at most risk of supply shortfalls are in Texas, and we saw this earlier this year as well. It's in the central U.S. system, stretching from the Great Lakes to Louisiana, and New England and the Carolinas. That is where we're going to see these supply shortfalls. Again, we have to be prepared. This means have extra blankets, have maybe a propane heater, right? You have a generator. These are all very, very important things. I've talked about this before. Generators can be very expensive. Maybe you want to get solar power, right? It's possible. There's a lot of things you can do. The other thing, and again, I bring this up because I've had this happen where you lose power. And whether it's in the summer where it's hot or it's in the winter where it's cold, what you want to do is preserve the air inside your home. Okay? Don't open the doors. If it's warm inside your home, don't just keep opening up the doors and closing them. Don't keep a window open. Keep the warmth inside. All right? The next thing, we're being told that extreme cold coupled with limited supply of natural gas, coal, and backup fuel oil will create little room for error. According to officials, they are saying that Americans need to be aware of what is going on around them during these very cold times. And there's a chance that county officials will send out warnings to their residents to get them to turn down their heaters. Right? Don't run them as hot. Use less electricity. And a big one, don't charge your electric vehicles. Yeah. When the Biden administration is telling us, hey, we need to switch from gas powered to electric, and now we're getting county officials that may tell us, hey, don't charge your electric vehicles because that's going to cause us to use more power, more energy, and we're going to have these rolling blackouts for a little bit longer. Now, that's concerning. But again, this isn't anything new. We saw this down in Texas. We saw this in New Mexico. These happened, 2 or 3 times just this past year alone due to the heat, right? We saw the heat was just so much, even in California, that we were getting notifications. Well, not me. I live in Washington State and didn't get any notification, but we were seeing notifications from residents in California. I had friends, family members as well, that were sending me these notifications, even on their phone, where it said to turn down your AC. Don't run it as much, right? Shut it off for a little bit and turn your AC. Don't keep your house at 68 or 69 degrees. And let me know, where do you like to keep your home in the winter? Do you keep it at 60 some degrees? Do you keep it at 75? Let me know. Put in the comment section below, what degree do you like keeping your home? But we saw many officials telling us, no, don't keep your house at 69 degrees in the summer. Keep it at 78. 78 is hot. I would not want to be keeping my house at 78 degrees. I wouldn't even do that in the winter time. But again, that's just me. But according to multiple officials, they say this is going to happen more and more throughout this winter, so expect it. Now, I told you where they're expecting these shortages, but that does not mean it will not come elsewhere. Now, I know I'm going to get this question, so let me answer it really quick. How long will we be facing these shortages of natural gas, coal, and even backup fuel oil? Well, I want to read you a statement. This is a statement from Jim Matheson. He's the CEO of Natural Rural Electrical Cooperative Association. But he says, and I quote, as the demand for electricity risk outpacing the available supply during peak winter conditions, consumers face an inconceivable but real threat of rolling blackouts. It doesn't have to be this way, but absent a shift in state and federal energy policy, this is a reality we will face for years to come. This is not just a 2022 problem. This is potentially a 2023, 2024 problem. Now, why is this? Well, we know, what he says is absent a shift in state and federal energy policy. Well, what is coming up? Currently, we have a Democratic House, Democratic Senate, and a Democratic President. They could get things done, but they don't. Soon, we're going to have a Democratic Senate, a Republican House, and a Democratic President. Guess what? That is where gridlock is going to occur. So if we think we're going to get some type of energy policy over the next 2 years, well, it's highly unlikely according to many experts. Now, this is a real concern, okay? But another real concern is that Americans have less savings now than they did a year ago. So in a time where we are potentially going to see rolling blackouts, there's also another risk. You may get your utility shut off. You may not have electricity. You may not have gas because you cannot pay it. That's a real concern. And according to a recent survey, 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And even though this has never been a huge issue around this time, Americans are not saving as much money leading up to the holiday season because of, many different factors. But here's why this is a different type of year. 2022 is very different in many ways. More workers are unable to save money as inflation is actually eating away at any excess savings that they once had. And the fact that real average hourly earnings, they're down. They are down from a year ago. All the reports are saying that, no, the American people are making more money. Well, yeah, they're making more money per hour, but the real average hourly earnings, they're actually down 3%. When you factor in inflation, you factor in people are actually working less hours, right? Yeah, it's a problem. Many people have also turned to credit cards. They've turned to credit cards as a way to pay for things like food, gas, utilities, even to help pay for their rent and mortgage, which credit cards, if you don't pay them off, well, they can be very concerning because you have an additional payment every single month that maybe you didn't have before. And this payment, you may have 22% interest on it. Credit card balances are surging, right? But here's the problem. They have surged more than 15% in the most recent quarter. That's the largest jump we've seen in more than 20 years. And all this is happening in a time when interest rates are going up. Interest rates aren't even stopping. They're going to continue to climb, and this is not good. It is not good to take on additional debt with a credit card that is going to have a rising interest rate. That's a horrible financial decision. However, for most people, that's the only option they have. So, this is why I wanted to fill you in on this, because again, 80 million Americans are at risk this winter simply because of these potential rolling blackouts. But we also know about 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. These are two things that do not go hand in hand. So, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.